Hello guys, here's a quick update on my tier list. This was my pre-release one that I made a while back. Now we have the upcoming regional, so I wanna update it for what I think it will be most represented in those regionals and what you should take if you wanna compete at the highest level. First thing first, I was mistaken. Actually, the FB04 top contenders are still the best decks, so I'ma put both Eiloku and Boo in the S tier meta definers deck. This is the first thing that I missed. I really hope those two decks would not be as dominant as they were in the previous set, but it turned out to be the case. So yeah, those two are still the top decks, and I'ma drop everything else down at least one tier. This is my first change to the list. I think Eiloku is still a little bit better than Boo, but they're closer than they were on set 4. Eiloku was the absolute best deck in the format. Now it has some other rough matchups, while Boo is still quite dominant. So they're both S tier meta definers, no question about it. I don't know which one is the best. I'ma put Eiloku at the top spot. Since Eiloku is the best blue deck, basically every other blue deck went down a tier, and every other deck get a new place on the tier list based on their matchup against Eiloku and Boo. So if I place a deck too high and they turn out to have a bad matchup into these two meta definers deck, it's gonna drop down a little bit. Vice versa, if I place a deck a little too low and they have a good matchup into those two S tier decks, they're gonna climb up the ladder a little bit. I don't think any black deck except for Baby can compete with Boo. The discard strategy is way too strong, and the fact that they can keep you on the unawakened side for as long as they want, usually, it's too much to deal with. So I don't think Gogeta is that strong anymore. It can go down one tier, and Baby is the only deck that can keep up with both. So I'ma put it at the top of A tier. Goku GT as well. They can't do anything. So it's pretty rough, unfortunately. Nemba is almost the same as Boo. It has more consistent lines because you don't rely on seeing the Trico's Babidi. But at the same time, you're not as explosive as Boo. So you can see it as a more conservative option if you wanna play yellow. It's not a bad deck. I think it's really, really strong. And I think it has a better matchup into Eiloku than Boo. So it's actually a pretty good deck. I don't know if I wanna play Nemba over Boo, since it's also a lot more difficult to pilot. So you need a lot of practice to play Nemba at a decent level, while Boo is quite easier to understand and to play. I think it's either at the top of A or just below Baby. I'm gonna put it below Baby because there's Boo in S tier. Then about Vegito and Zamasu, I don't think Zamasu is that good anymore. Basically every blue deck is played the same. So the blue late game shell, and then you just change the leader. The thing about Vegito is he can try and aggro back Boo, and he can also try to fight Goku quite well thanks to the floodgate. So it's not that bad, but it's not a good matchup as well. I think it's still A tier, while Zamasu drops down one tier again, and Goku Black goes up a little bit. So it might even be better than Zamasu right now, but they're quite similar in their position in B tier. About Bardock, I mean, I don't think it is playable. I don't think Cooler is playable. I don't think Vegeta is playable. Unfortunately, U7 is whatever. I'm just gonna drop it all down like one tier. And let's see what else. Androids, it's still pretty strong. The new Androids build cannot lose to Eiloku, but at the same time cannot win into Boo. So if you face a Eiloku streak, you can win the tournament, but if you face a Boo streak, you're gonna lose every round. So I think it's still A tier. It's not, I cannot put it at S tier anymore because Boo exists and it's really hard to deal with Boo. While on the other end, the new Goku, as I said, it's not that good, unfortunately. So I'm gonna put it down to B tier. If you wanna play green, just go for droids. It's still the the best green deck, as we knew already. It's the most solid. So if you're a green player, look no other than playing Android. I know Green Goku is fun. It is a new deck. It's a new approach. But like even playing an aggro plan and go down to 2 life, I think still Android is the better one. It can abuse the new package as well. Like maybe even better than Green Goku. Frieza is not that strong. Down a tier. And even the new Daimaku is not that strong. While on the other hand, I'ma say this is the aggro version, while the other Daimaku is the mid-range version, and it is actually quite strong. I'ma put it at A tier, maybe behind Nemba, but still a really strong deck. Yeah, the mid-range version, and Jiren is almost the same deck. It has some different matchups than Daimaku, but those two are mid-range red decks that can do very well into both Eiloku and Buu. So they're not bad decks. They don't have an overwhelming advantage into the S tier meta definer decks, but they have at least a slight advantage. So they're quite nice. I'd put both Jiren and Daimaku in A tier. I don't know which one of the two is better. Maybe Jiren is a little bit better. I like it more playing both into Buu and Eilo. But they both quite strong. While the aggro version of the new Daimaku is not good at all. Like I don't like it. I can put it on B tier, like maybe here, but I don't know. It's just not good. And yellow Vegeta is quite nice, I'd say. I think it can stay in A tier. I'm not sure about all the different matchups because I haven't tested it that much, but I think it has potential. I don't like playing it that much. I think it's boring, but nonetheless, I would not be surprised to see a yellow Vegeta in the top cut in any of the upcoming regionals. So I still think it's A tier. Like yellow is a good color in general. So every yellow deck is at least, every playable leader yellow deck is at least A tier. Also Buu is actually quite strong. I don't think it's better than any of the others, but it's still quite competitive. I can put it like at the top of B. I think it's nice. It's not the worst leader. I overlooked it the last time, but it's still playable if you want to play it. It's not that bad. And also Broly is not that bad. It might be diehards only, but it's actually local playable. I don't think I would bring it at a big tournament, but it's quite strong. Everything else is still unplayable. Like Gohan is unplayable, Cell is unplayable, of course Mini Vegeta is unplayable. Both Goku are unplayable, Trunks is unplayable, and UI is unplayable as well. Yeah, I think that is everything that I needed to change. So this is my final tier list before regionals. I'd expect a lot of Eilokus in the top cut. I'd expect a lot of Buus, maybe more Buus than Eilokus because Buu is easier to play. I'd expect some Baby, some Nemba, some Jiren and Goku Daima. And the blue players might be on Vegito this time, except for Eiloku as well. Any green player, that top, I think it will be on Androids. And maybe some yellow Vegeta as well. Everything else, like everything in B tier can top, but I don't expect a lot of them. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Am I right? Am I wrong? We're gonna find out the truth when the upcoming regionals played out. So, till the next time, see you guys.